Learned how to become a leader of situations.
I loved it. I thought I felt like a boss.
I love the message that it brings across.
Starbase affected my life in actually a pretty big way.
Favorite memory? Let's see, I guess my favorite memory was when Sergeant Major Lamb assigned me to become a trash king. I loved it. I thought I felt like a boss. I was in charge and practically picking up after everyone, telling them that they need to take care of their trash.
This would be creating the blueprint that has the design of the rockets we got to build from scratch. It was really interesting and it taught me how to use math and science in creating a rocket.
When we first created our wood box cars and we finished, and we actually got to race them.
The flight simulations, doing the airplanes and the helicopters, I rocked the Cessna. It was just so cool. It was like a video game, but I was having fun and I was learning, and all of those together was like the weirdest thing, and that never happens.
I walked away from Starbase learning social skills. I learned how to communicate more clearly with adults that worked at Starbase and other kids. And then I also learned how to become a leader of situations. It taught you how to take control of different situations and produce an outcome.
Gender is not an issue. Sergeant Major Lamb didn't treat the girls any different from the boys. Like, when I was younger, everyone told me I was so good with my words. I enunciated, and that I should be a lawyer or a writer, do something with words. I never even fathomed that I could do something like engineering. I could create. That wasn't something that I was taught I could do. That was something that boys did. But at Starbase, you could do anything. We started with basic elements of physics and we built rockets, and we learned how to fly planes, and we learned about nanotechnology. I mean, if you can do that in 5th grade, there's nothing you can't do.
Social skills, being able to communicate with both teachers and other kids.
General awareness that pertains to societal needs. When we were finished eating with our lunches, we recycled our trash, and Sergeant Major Lamb practically stated how important it was to clean up after ourselves, so we can, keep the environment clean for other animals, other people, and practically ourselves. I remember Sergeant Major Lamb also had us put on goggles that simulated what a drunk person would see, and I remember I literally could not walk. I was like stumbling over. You can just, as a person who witnessed it firsthand and was a part of it, you can really see how dangerous it is. And put yourself in the eyes of a drunk person. Imagine a person doing that who can't even control their feet. How would they be able to drive a car?
The proudest I have to say is being able to be a mentor for the future camps.
Becoming comfortable with math. That was always a struggle for me in elementary school. It was just something I never felt comfortable with, and it didn't come as easy as English or history. And just the way they taught it, I just felt really comfortable, and I excelled in math after that.
My payload had survived, which was your mission in Starbase at my camp in 04.
I used to be a pretty shy kid, but when I went to Starbase, the community, the atmosphere was so inviting, and I felt myself interacting with a lot of kids. I felt like I was a part of something, and it was an awesome experience.
Starbase affected my life in actually a pretty big way. It was because of Starbase that I pursued math and science, and I actually won a scholarship to a math and science camp at Mills College when I was in 7th grade. And there I was exposed to tons of wonderful women and all their accomplishments and everything from architecture, engineering, agriculture, the arts, just everything. And without that exposure, I wouldn't be where I am today.
One of my dreams when I was a younger kid was to become a scientist. And going to Starbase, I was just, that idea was just enamored in me. And I really grew up into a person who actually looked up to science. And now my path is not to become a scientist, but I transitioned into another phase that involves science. And I'm here at UC Davis pursuing a career in biological sciences. so I can transition into becoming a medical doctor. My interest in science has probably contributed to, the Starbase program, because that was one of the first things that really introduced me to science, actually.
Working at Starbase as a mentor, it gave me a positive experience working with kids. And after doing this for almost 10 years, I decided that, this is a future career path as a teacher, and I couldn't have come to that conclusion without Starbase.
That program really got students involved in science. I mean, come on, let's see, the rockets were awesome. Kids who dealt with it were managing science with their own hands, and at the same time they're having fun. It's interactive. So what 11-year-old kid wouldn't love that? They build something and then they get to see it fly off and shoot up into the sky. It's perfect, amazing.
I think it would, because Starbase really teaches you different skill sets, not only math and science like the program is for, but it teaches you social skills and how to communicate clearly and how to be a leader.
It's really important that future generations of kids get this camp. There's just really nothing like it today in our public schools, where we're learning to learn. We're not learning to meet these standards. We're not learning for test scores. We're learning just to learn and to inspire and to teach kids that learning can be fun.
Absolutely, this is an amazing program. It teaches social skills, and it takes probably what could be the two boring subjects to most students and makes it fun and entertaining for, to take that and put it to other subjects is a really powerful thing to have.
I wanted to do this video because I think it was a great way to show Starbase in a different light from the students' perspectives, not just the teachers and their experience. I think it really just helps develop children and it teaches them good skills, so I wanted to get that out into the world.
I love the message that it brings across. I love their program and what they teach and how they teach it.
I'm doing this video because this camp was so important to me and it had such a huge impact, and while I may not be going into a field that particularly involves math or science right now, I'm actually a communication studies major, I would not have thought it was possible for me to be here without having learned to be comfortable with math, without having been inspired by science, and really all that started in Starbase. Because before that it was just textbooks and you didn't really get your hands on anything. You didn't really learn anything, you just memorized stuff, and Starbase changed that.